Welcome to Blackgang Chine. We hope you enjoyed this video as a memory of your visit here. There's lots to do in the park, as you probably discovered when you went round. But there are many theme areas including Adventureland, Jungle Land, Nursery Land, Frontierland, that's an extremely popular area, and of course Fantasyland, that's one of our latest features. I'm standing in front of one of our latest attractions, Rumpus Mansion. It's full of goblins, dragons, trolls, dwarfs. In fact, the whole Edwardian household has been overrun by them. We opened it to remember the 150 years that the park has been open since 1843, when the family first came here to the Isle of Wight. In those days, the original Chine Gorge went all the way down to the sea, and people could walk from the top road down to a lovely tea rooms about halfway down, and then have a little stroll on the seashore before returning to their coach to continue their round the island tour.
Today, Blackgang offers an amazing range of exciting attractions to thousands of visitors every year. Everyone receives a warm welcome.
Well, now we've arrived in Nursery Land, who would you like to meet, my dears? Here's Humpty Dumpty, still trying to keep his balance. I'm the old woman who lived in a shoe and had so many children. But over there live the 5 little pigs. This little piggy has roast beef, and this little piggy had none. And this little piggy cried all the way home. Oh dear, oh dear. At least Seesaw Marjorie Dawes having fun, just like all our visitors. I must say goodbye now and fetch Mother Hubbard some shopping.
Ship ahoy! Aha! Shiver me timbers, Jim lad. Come aboard the pirate ship, me hearties. This coast is famous for smuggling and marauding pirates. Splice the main brace, man the crow's nest, and walk the gangplank. Ha ha! Our Blackgang was one of the most notorious groups. Sometimes we even caused the shipwrecks by giving the wrong signals with our lanterns. And here's what happened.
All through the night of October the 10th, 1836, a violent storm raged. And in the dim light of the following morning, a full-rigged ship, an East Indiaman called the Clarendon, could be seen battling against wind and sea to beat off from that dreaded lee shore. Could help be given. If she came in under the eye cliffs of Blackgang, then no one could help her passengers and crew. 3 managed to lose her and were dragged to safety, but all the rest aboard were drowned or killed by the timbers. as the huge waves smashed the 345 township into pieces. The Clarendon, with its trading supplies and wealthy passengers, must have provided a rich haul for the gang of smugglers that you see here, gloating over their booty.
Of course, Victorians loved the gaunt and romantic scenery that Blackgang then offered. My great-great-grandfather, being the entrepreneur that he was, found the skeleton of a whale, or in fact the full-sized body of a whale, washed ashore at Gurnard, over near Cowes on the north of the island, and he immediately bought the whole carcass, had the blubber cut off, the bones bleached, brought across by horse and cart, and started a small museum here. That absolutely fascinated people who visited, and from there, if you like, the whole experience began.
Millions of years earlier, dinosaurs roamed the Isle of Wight. Imagine spotting one of these on the beach or towering above you in the woods.
This is Fantasyland, where nothing is quite what it seems, and the enchanted woods are full of surprises. Here's the licorice factory. Oh, you haven't disturbed that grumpy old dragon again. Let's find out what the weather wizard has in store.
Hello, my friends. I'm the wizard here, and now you've travelled through the air. My work is hard. You've seen the reason. Making weather for each season. The sun appears at my command. You like that best, I understand. As well as sun, I'm sure you know, there must be rain to make things grow. I love the thunder, lightning too. I hope I'm not broken. I tried to keep the breezes blowing, but with the winds there is no knowing. The gusts I send to fill your sails sometimes turn to storms and gales. For winter I make ice and snow to make you freeze from head to toe. Now, all my secrets you have heard. Remember, do not breathe a word, for I will find out if you do, and send some rain to fall on you. So pay no heed to your TV. The only weatherman is me.
That was thirsty work. Let's take a break to find out how the park is run.
We can certainly remember back in the 1920s when my grandparents were working here, a complete staff of 6 people who ran the whole park, and that was including the gardener. Today we have 22 gardeners and a full-time staff of 35, and then of course in the summertime our staff goes up to well over 100. All our catering facilities, of course, need to be manned, and the maintenance team have an awful lot of work to do. The maze alone, with its 5,000 privet bushes, needs trimming regularly. The park is floodlit every evening, and the miles and miles of electric cable that run all the pretty coloured lights also need quite a considerable amount of maintaining. The water gardens, with all their pumps pumping round the somewhere in the region of 500 to 600 gallons an hour running through.
There are carpentry and electrical workshops all on site. In addition to looking after the complicated technology of the audio-visual animated shows, Blackgang staff also have to renovate and create the fiberglass models. The mixture is poured onto a rubber mould and takes about 1 hour to set until hard enough to paint. Here are the gargoyles from Rumpus Mansion itself.
Welcome, welcome. Come in, why don't you? Just step this way. Nice little children. All are welcome.
Oh, what's all this commotion? What rocking rolls are these?
And kneel before the singing king of being. His beams swept too throughout our land, who bless the fields and flowers, command the sun to shine, and bring spring refreshing showers. The fairy queen has ordered that her steed be shod and groomed and harnessed with all speed.
The dwarf, with understandable misgiving, has doubts as to the way he makes a living.
So please, don't disturb this sleepy old moon. The lights may be burning, but no one's at home.
Welcome to our restaurant.
We're at your beck and call.
First, let's introduce ourselves.
Worse.
And first of all,
Everything is rested.
And everybody toss around. We want you to join in our happy sound.
I'm standing here in the middle of Jungle Land with an amazing variety of animal species. I'm moving slowly as many of the beasts are quite ferocious. Let's hope the natives, at least, are friendly. Howdy, partner. This is Buffalo Creek County, where life is tough for us cowboys. Now, we traveled across America by covered wagon to settle here, and we've built quite a little township. Come in for a drink in the saloon, but mind the card sharps. This is White-Eyed Jack. He's a wanted man by the sheriff for the bank heist last week. Y'all want to keep out of his way. Wells Fargo delivers our mail here 2 times a week. Now they're opening up all over the West with these newfangled locomotive machines. Now, fella, I don't reckon this town's big enough for the both of us. And you better mosey on out of town to Fort Apache. And mind them pesky Injuns as you ride by. See ya now.
Nowadays, the park has suffered considerable cliff erosion. This is all mainly due to the clay and sandstone mixture that occurs in the cliffs along Blackgang and towards Chale and Atherfield. And we lose, or have lost, an awful lot of land over the last few years. But we've now established ourselves further along the cliff from the original gorge and have been adding new attractions every year to make sure that your visit is worthwhile.
Just compare the present-day cliff edge with this old photograph inside St. Catherine's Quay exhibition. It just shows how much land has disappeared. Here too, you can find out a lot more about the local coastline, the sailors and the shipwrecks. There are detailed models of lifeboats and a real 37-foot RNLI vessel moored on the quay outside. Step back to Victorian times on a typical beach scene of 1890. Next door, the Blackgang Sawmill tells a story of timber and the craftsmen who have used it. The watermill provided power for many workshops, like the carpenter, who also made coffins for the village. The local blacksmith, the wet cooper who made barrels for beer and wine, the wheelwright produced wheels for the wagons and carts for the farmer.
Lucy from the village hasn't come over today, and I've had to scrub all the flagstones myself, clean out the range and blacklead it. Oh yes, and scour the preserving pan from yesterday's jam making. All you can do is sit there reading, letting your food get cold. And with mutton at nearly £1 a pound, it's a real waste. And you haven't even touched the bread I made fresh this morning.
With the heavy one, 50 kilos there coming on his shoulder. Give him a good hand, keep him going there. We've got to give him some encouragement.
There's a slippery old turf there. Yay! And it goes to 50-pound weight on that sword. They're doing well, keeping it nice and steady now.
And the winner of the Superheroes Championship 1993 is Andy! Hooray! And now, as we approach the year 2000, the family have been looking very closely at what else they can do. Obviously with the cliffs continuing to erode here at Blackgang, though we hope to be here for many years to come, we're looking at other island sites. And we have recently acquired a new park in the centre of the island, which we hope will contrast with what we do here at Blackgang. This country park near Arreton will, I think, become just as popular an area as Blackgang itself. And we hope that when you next come on holiday to the island, you'll visit there as well. We hope you've enjoyed your day. We hope you've enjoyed this video. And we look forward to seeing you coming back here year after year.